I've known Nigel Farage a long time. I do not agree with his views on Europe. I did not vote to leave the EU, but I've known him for a very long time. In my experience of Nigel Farage, he's always been absolutely decent, kind, polite, extremely engaging, very funny at times in private company. And he's someone who knows what he believes in, and you might not like it, but you know where you stand. Now, with any party political leader, and I'm not saying this as a champion of Reform UK, far from it. I'm just saying it as a matter of fact. Any party leader will have to deal with people within the party or activists who support the party that have got very, very unsavoury views. I think of Jeremy Corbyn having to deal with all the anti-Semitism issues and was banged to rights with equalities and the equalities, the Commission on Human Rights, Equalities and Commission on Human Rights report that banged the party to rights on that particular issue. He was the leader at the time and couldn't even accept that there was an issue under his watch in the party. You also look at the Conservative Party. When I was a candidate for the Conservative Party back in 2001 and 2005, I cannot tell you how many times I was wheeled out as an articulate brown face to go and defend the party when some MP or activist had made a completely racist remark, right? Now, this is not to defend racism within Reform. Absolutely not. Clearly not. I mean, no one wants to see racist slurs being hurled at the Prime Minister. It's absolutely disgraceful, outrageous behaviour. And it should be called out for what it is. I totally agree with the Prime Minister on this. Delroy in Brixton, good afternoon.
Brother Ali, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam. What would you like to say, Delroy?
I think not only has not the wheels not come off this Reform bandwagon, the way that the establishment are talking about, they put a V8 engine under the hood.
Go on, explain.
Well, I just think that it just smacks of desperation, brother. You know what I mean? I just think it smacks of like, why is the timing of this, like right at the 11th hour? It's like, I mean, I know that they only called the election recently, so it couldn't have been 6 months ago, but it's just like, yeah. I just think, no, it's not going to work. The people have made their decisions pretty much, the wavering voters in the middle. But I just think that no, I think he reflects more. It's going to backfire on them. I don't think people are going to say, oh, my God, we're a bunch of racists and then run away. No, I don't think it's going to. The way they do it in this sort of Mickey Mouse cartoon fashion, that's what makes it look so bloody obvious, Ali. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, Delroy, do you think it would have made any difference at all? Because a lot of people who think Reform are a haven for racists will have already thought that anyway, right? I'm concerned whether you think that any ones who are wavering and their hand was hovering over the putting X in the Reform box might think, actually, hang on a second, I want to vote in protest for these guys, but actually I feel a bit uncomfortable about this.
Possibly. The answer is absolutely possible. Of course it is, because people don't like extreme views. Nobody does.
Of course they don't.
So yet there will be a percentage, 0.11. So it might work on that level, Ali, but not in the extent to which they want everyone to run away and go, like with hands out, oh my God, it's the BNP 2.0.
Delroy, let me ask you about that. Just let me ask you. Do you think Reform is the BNP 2.0? Because I think there's a real danger here. My concern about all this is a bit like price inflation. You have word inflation, where nowadays everyone's a racist, right? So everyone to the right of Jeremy Corbyn on immigrations are suddenly become a racist now, right? So it becomes very difficult to then discern who are really damaging racists, who are threatening us and want to divide and want to repatriate people, from people who are just genuinely concerned about the levels of immigration. They're very different things.
They are. You summed it. Well, you summed it up. What can I say? I can't add anything to what you just said. There is, because what that does, it dilutes the power of the word of far right. Yeah.
Everyone's far right now.
Fascist, you're a fascist. I mean, it should be like saying you're an idiot now, isn't it? It's stupid.
It happens all the time.
Which idea, because now where do you go? Because that's why we've shot to the extremes, Ali. It's because there's no other vocabulary left to use,
I agree with you 100%. You only have to go on social media to see this. Everyone's a fascist, everyone's a misogynist, everyone's a racist. It's like, guys, look, if you're thinking about the terms fascist, racist, these are serious terms. They should be reserved for people who genuinely are. And if someone's calling the Prime Minister, I don't want to repeat the word on air, but we heard the thing. I mean, that is completely racist, right? Completely and utterly racist. It should not be happening in 2024 Britain, and it should be called out for what it is, right?
That's
absolutely.
Right.
And if any party has got people like that supporting it, members of it, candidates within it, they should be booted out.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Great show you're doing there. Inshallah.
Thank you very much, Delroy. Speak to you soon. Really appreciate it. Shrawan, first-time caller in Tunbridge in Kent. Warm welcome to you. Good afternoon.
Hi, Ali. Thank you for accepting my call. A great show.
Thank you.
I'm quite annoyed with this episode. There are 2-3 issues, and in one episode, I linked myself as well. So I was saying to Prime Minister of the country, who is working hard, many number of hours, and he's a decent and intelligent man.
Of course he is.
So and so what would be the effect on other people? Fortunately, in my opinion, it's a very small majority, I feel. I remember a similar episode when I was walking with my wife and 2 daughters, and the woman on the other side, she was telling, daughter was saying that, why is she telling mom that there are so many parkings, so many parkings? And I was walking a bit slightly ahead 1 meter, I didn't hear. And my wife told me that she was saying, there were so many parkings here. Now,
that's a very offensive word that a lot of people would find very offensive. I mean, you've said it once, and I think it's important to illustrate your point. But I tell you, that word itself is so deeply offensive to a lot of people. But carry on, Shrawan. You're making the point. Go on.
We couldn't believe it. Yeah. My wife didn't say because she didn't want our daughters to get affected, that this is racism. And we carried on because we all go through that at times. But I say the majority of people, they condemn discrimination like that. And we all are serving, looking after each other. There should not be anything like that. We are looking after, we are British citizens. It shouldn't be depending on the colour.
But you see, you see, Shrawan, it's interesting you mentioned it. Of course it shouldn't be depending on colour, and you're absolutely right that whatever you think of the Prime Minister, and I think he's totally inept and lacking political nous, he's a hard-working guy who deserves to be treated with respect and not incurring racial slurs. Absolutely not. I mean, this is a disgusting thing that's happened, and it should be called out for what it is. But I tell you this, it's not just people making racial slurs against people from ethnic minorities. It's also people within certain religious groups who or ethnic minorities themselves who are putting slurs against other people in ethnic minorities if they don't share exactly the same worldview as them. So terms like coconut and Uncle Tom and all these things. I mean, Kemi Badenoch's talking about all this all the time. So it's not just reserved to people of a certain skin colour attacking other people of a different skin colour. It's people of the same skin colour attacking each other.
Yeah. I mean, whatever colour of the skin, origin, race, sex, age, there shouldn't be any discrimination. But I can understand that there are some small group of people, you can't change it, but we can condemn it. We can condemn it seriously.
Of course we can.
And very loudly. And second issue is that Nigel Farage, as you said, I like him personally. He's an intelligent man. Yeah. He put his points across very well. Yeah. He is, I like him, his speech as well, but he's not coming as a leader here. He's just trying to defend that, I have expelled that person. That's not enough. You are the leader. You have to show the strength you are having that, because if you become, you're trying to become prime minister, say maybe after 5 years, he's saying, then you should show that you represent the majority of the population.
Absolutely, and the majority. And I think, to be honest with you, he's tried to do that, but maybe he needs to do it even more. Shrawan, thank you very much for your call. Chris in Richmond, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, Nigel Farage is an interesting one, isn't he? I mean, the comments that have been made or come out to light in the last few weeks are absolutely disgusting. And what really sickens me is the guy that he tries to sort of describe it, or Richard tries to describe it as a hatchet job. Just call it out for what it is. Stop making excuses. And then he blames the vetting company that he paid a load of money to. Well, if you can't hire a vetting company and get them to do the proper job, how on earth do you think you're going to be able to run the country properly?
No, I think that's a fair point. I think that's a fair point. Yep.
And good on Rishi Sunak, right? I'm a Lib Dem loyal voter member.
Yep.
Good on Rishi Sunak for standing up and saying what he said.
But he was hurt. I mean, he was hurt, understandably. I mean, no one, let alone the Prime Minister, should have to deal with ridiculous comments like that, hurtful comments.
I agree, but at the same time, it is quite right to say, why on earth have you not returned Frank Hester all the money he's given you?
That's a very good point.
Either you stand up against racism or you don't. You've taken the guy's money and you haven't given it back.
Just remind us just remind us what he did in relation to Diane Abbott, just for everyone's just so everyone knows.
I think he made a comment about wanting her dead, I believe.
No, he said not quite. That was a different one. Not from him actually. He said that it makes you want to hate all black women. Words to that effect, which was completely beyond the pale. I mean, you can't be saying things like that. However much you disagree with a political opponent. I mean, we need to have some civility in the discourse, right? So you're absolutely right, Chris. They should have given the money back. And this is the problem. If you lay down with dogs, nothing against dogs. Dogs are beautiful and lovely. You get fleas, right? If you're going to go down that road of divisive politics, then's going to come and hit you back in the face. Now, I do not absolutely in any way endorse what happened with this reform activist with Rishi Sunak, but I think you're absolutely right when it comes to the Tories being consistent themselves. Chris, thank you. Peter in Milton Keynes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi. So I kind of agree with the last guy. Because my point is the Tories they created this kind of atmosphere, where people can be free to talk as nasty as they want about other people. And the Tories, this new Tory, they've made it acceptable with your people like Braverman, and Sunak, Priti Patel, these people, like Bainat Powell, whatever her name is, another one, they've made nastiness about othering people acceptable. Now, when they create that atmosphere and the people start to feel free to speak like that, because they're white, suddenly it's always being racist. Now, he was racist to Rishi Sunak, but he's one of the guys who said with the gentleman you just spoke about, who made those nasty comments about a black politician.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ridiculous. He did say, it makes me want to shoot all black women. He did say that. The Tories took his money, and Rishi Sunak said, it's okay, he's apologised, so we move on. So he should be saying the same thing now. But no, he's really hurt because it's personal.
I agree.
And
I agree.
This is what they need to understand. This is what you're stoking up in society.
I think it's a very, very good point, and I've got absolutely nothing to add to your great call, Peter, because I think you're right. You've got to be very careful. Look, my view is very simple. When people want to talk about immigration and asylum and all these matters, they're very important issues, and I talk about them a lot. But there has to be a language that is respectful yet robust when it comes to it. And there are serious issues to be discussed around integration, around multiculturalism, around all these things. But it has to be done in a dignified, sensible manner without trying to stoke division and polarization in society. It comes back and bites you in the backside otherwise in this way.